All right, Pit Masters, welcome to the show. Tonight is tasting night. How's it going, Derek?
Dude, it's going great, man. Holiday season's
Good.
right around the corner, so keeping busy.
All
How
right.
about you?
Dude, you're busy. I've just been hanging out. You've been traveling, going to the Jack, and then you went down to Texas for the meetup.
Yeah,
Surprised
yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't flip it get into the Royal just for a second too while you're out on your adventures, man.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I kind of missed going to the Royal. I've never been, but everybody kept asking, "You gonna be at the Royal? You gonna be at the Royal?" I was like, "I don't know. I'm trying something different. I'm going down to Texas, open fire meetup hosted by Al Fragoni, and
Yeah.
that was it's still the same community. It's still barbecue culture. It's outdoor cooking, and a lot of faces. Got to meet a lot of people. But no, it was a great time. But and then peppered in with outside travel for work as well. So being out in
Nice,
Colorado as well afterwards.
nice. That's my
Mm-hmm.
man. Got anything else going on?
No, I think the only update, we talked about what's coming up in January. We got Barbecue Jackpot, which Christy's holding, and that's coming up this coming weekend. So that's November 22nd. And then we talked about events happening in January, like we have Bullhead City January 17th. So the Golden State Battle, which is January 31st, that has moved. That's been typically for the last 3 years been up in Northern California, up in Hollister. It is now down in Riverside at the same location as Burnt Offering. So it's at the Magnolia Church in Riverside. So we're anticipating a lot more teams to come out for this contest for Golden State Battle 8, seeing how it's going to be a lot more of a straight shot for teams out of Nevada, Arizona, and things like that. So that's a fun update.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, and that one has celebrity judging, right? Didn't Harry Sue do the judging for that one for a while, or I can't
No,
remember.
not for he would show, he'd be there to support for California Barbecue Association,
Yeah.
seeing how he was a board member in the past. But no,
Right.
it's still KCBS judges, CBJs.
Oh, nice. I'm one of those now. So
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
What do you mean? Tell me.
Oh no, judging's fun, but man, it's so secretive. Like, you can't even talk. It's all quiet. It's all weird and uncomfortable. Where you're trying to not make a face of you enjoying something. It's just
Right.
KCBS judging is just so much different than SCA.
So
And
have you
it's
done
slow.
a KCBS? Have you judged one yet? Like officially?
No, but I've done backyards. I've sat in like, as like they needed an extra judge. I've done it before, but I'm just like, man, it's not my jam.
I'm more excited to find out. So once you do an actual as a CBJ and do the J Cup and everything, I want you to do it because I know you come from the background as a cook, and I want to get your perspective about what chatter goes on at the table after they submit their their vote or their results, right? They hand it off to the table captain, and then the chatter begins. They're like, okay, you guys can talk. And they'll be like, oh, I like this one best. I like that one best. I'm curious to know your feedback because it's definitely interesting now coming from the cook side and going to a judging tent and I'm like, wow, this is what they're saying at the tables. This is what they're saying in the tent. So that's what I'm more curious about.
Amanda might punch me. You might see one coming in. I'm still going to blame the judges for everything. It's fine.
Fair. I can understand that. That's where everybody kind of gravitates towards. Yeah, and you called it too. That was like lightning right there. That hit.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to be there. But yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for getting us all updated on those events. Yeah, Utah is dry. We are currently dry. The next event's going down next weekend at Christie's event. It's too late to sign up. You can still go and show up, I guess. You can catch an F1 race and go see a barbecue event all in one weekend.
Are you going to show up? You going to show face?
No, I'm probably not going to, man. I was going to team up with somebody, but then that kind of didn't work out. So I
don't know. Maybe you should go judge. I'm just saying. Throwing it out there.
Judges are full too. She got a backlist on that too. So she's a very popular person. We should bring her in. Christy, what do you got going on, man? You okay? Can you breathe?
It's happening. Like it's the week. It's barbecue jackpot week, man.
Yep. Right.
Anthony, I gotta say, I always got room for you, bro. Like you want to cook? I'll make you a space. You want to judge? Make you a space.
I love that. I appreciate that, Christy. That's awesome. If you guys are regular listeners of the customer, KCBS is of the show. I mean, KCBS is a lot unless you have somebody there to help you. Amanda says she'll help me, but the cooking aspect, somebody who's going to wash the pits, help me stay up all night. That's the harder part, right?
You know what, Amanda, and the little dog shaking in the background, which I love.
Yeah, right. I thought that was Amanda at first. I was like, oh, that's the dog.
Yeah.
I can make space for the turkey smoke and the dessert. You don't have to do.
No, she's calling you out. She wants you to do the turkey and dessert.
There we go.
I'll make turkey smoke is free.
Yeah.
Dessert's $50. So come on down. I'll give you a spot right next to High Voltage. I know you were talking about cooking with them. So
Yeah.
we can make it happen.
You never know.
It's going to be good.
Yep. Well, cool, guys. Let's go talk to Dustin with Southern Char and see what he's all about and taste these rubs and see how we can implement them maybe in the Las Vegas competition in approximately 4 to 6 days.
We call it Thermapen 1, the first true 1-second cooking thermometer. Its unprecedented speed means Thermapen 1's responsiveness approaches the speed of thought. Because when you're plating the perfect menu or smoking the perfect side of barbecue, you don't have time to think about how your instant read thermometer is accurate to 0.5 degrees in 1 second or less, or how rugged and waterproof it is, or how big, elegant and bright the backlit display is. You'll just know it works, because our perfection powers your perfection. Seek perfection with Thermapen 1.
Welcome, everybody. How's it all going tonight, guys?
Good. What's up, guys?
Dustin, welcome to the show, man. So let's just we got one more person. Hopefully he's gonna jump in. He's apparently stuck in traffic. But let's go around the room and tell everybody who we are, and then we'll go and move on to Dustin, make him front and center of the show. Derek, go ahead and start us off, man.
Hey, Derek Walls here out of sunny San Diego. Realistically, it's been raining the last few days, but out of San Diego in Southern California. I am a KCBS cook. I've helped organize events. Just recently worked with Christy Vanover down in Hondo, Texas, to help Al Fragoni and his team with the Open Fire meetup. KCBS judge, and just a backyard or barbecue backyard, everything, all of the above. Big about the culture and the community of barbecue.
Christy Vanover.
Yeah, like ditto all that.
Yeah, right.
Judge, cook, organizer. Like, yeah, social media, whatever, and doing all the things. Find me at girlscangrill.com or on all the socials at Girls Can Grill.
Heck yeah. John.
Hey, everybody. John Mann, Alaska Barbecue Man from Eagle River, Alaska. Temporarily down in Kansas in the next several months here, but enjoying some time, taking a little break from barbecue, but my wife and I are reps for KCBS, SCA, RCA, blah, blah, blah. We're organizers, a little bit of everything too. Not the level that Christy is, but we put on the state championship in Alaska and all that stuff, but nothing to the caliber that they have in Vegas. But
hey, I'm not a rep yet. You got me there.
Marty.
Yeah, Marty Rich. I compete under Mental Voodoo Barbecue. Also owner of Voodoo Roasters Coffee, which we sponsor the SCA and some of the local series around here in Utah, Barbecue Pit Stop Series. Also certified judge in both KCBS and SCA.
Very nice. Rob?
Robert Meyer from Union Grove, Wisconsin, with Kick Ash Barbecue and the High Stakes Grilling Team. I'm a competition cook, whether it's KCBS, SCA, the Rib Cook-Off. And kind of like Derek said, I love all barbecue things, backyard, competition. It don't matter what it is. If it's barbecue, I enjoy it.
Very nice. Michael?
Mike Peterson with M&J's Barbecue, compete with the SEA. I am a judge, only judge one with the SEA, and I do a lot of catering and just support and teach barbecue where we can and just keep enjoying it.
Very nice. And then Dustin, you get the big screen. Go ahead and tell everybody. Oh, let's see. Maybe. Where are we at? Let's try this again. How do we make it? There we go. All right, Dustin, you're up. Go ahead and tell us who you are and what you do.
Yeah. Dustin Jones with Southern Char Seasonings.
I'm going to cut you off really quick. Go ahead and turn down your PC.
Okay.
We're getting an echo.
How about now?
Way better. There we go.
All right. Yep. So Dustin Jones, Southern Char Seasonings. We live in Clinton, Mississippi. I've been cooking barbecue, probably, 10 plus years now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Yeah,
okay.
We got you.
Sorry about that. I've been doing SCA since 2019. As far as the seasoning itself, this is something that I've been working on for probably, I don't know, 5.5 years. I was trying to figure that out before we got on the show, but the seasoning itself is something that I've been kind of playing around with in some form or fashion for about 5.5 years. Never really considered actually bottling it till probably last summer. I was cooking SCA for, all through COVID and everything. Like I said, from 2019 until 2023, had a lot of stuff going on with the kids, and obviously they come first. So I couldn't ever find the comp to make my schedule work. And, but in the meantime, behind the scenes, I was kind of playing around with the seasoning a lot more, kind of tweaking it, for when I did come back in 2025, basically this year, and, had some people talking to me, was kind of sending out a lot of samples, and one thing led to another, and I decided to bottle it probably last fall. But obviously people that have ever played with any seasonings or had them, gone through a co-pack or anything like that, the whole process takes some time. So in the spring of this year is when I actually decided to bottle the first blend, which is the signature blend. And that was kind of my foot in the door, I guess, into the seasoning side of the world. So I can kind of start with the signature blend and, I guess get to the garlic butter blend. But as far as me, that's my barbecue background. I've done barbecue for a while, but the SCA is really kind of how I got into the competitive side of the world.
Very nice. Whoa, what did I do here? There we go. Sounds good. So we have two bottles we're tasting down. We're running the signature blend and then the garlic butter blend.
Yeah.
Which one would you like us to start with tonight?
I don't know the exact process. I know some people have one, some people have multiple. But in my mind, I don't know if you want to taste one and then give feedback.
Yeah.
Or, okay, so let's just start with the original one. And then can we wait to do the feedback after we do both? Or do you want to do one?
We've never done that before. Why not shake it up a little bit? We're good. Why we're gonna?
I say that is because here's what I always tell people: you've got the original, you've got the signature blend. It's got its own flavor profile, obviously. Then you've got the garlic butter blend. It's got its own flavor profile. But when you put them together, there's a completely different flavor profile. So we can do it however you want to. I just want to make sure that after they try each one, them together also.
Let's do this as a group. What we'll do is we'll taste the Southern blend, and then we'll clean our palates, and then we'll go to the garlic butter blend. But while we are tasting this, go ahead and tell us the story kind of behind each blend, and kind of fill that void slightly for us. And then also, Trevor, welcome to the show. Go ahead and tell people who you are and where you're from while tasting.
I will. Hey, sorry to be late. I got held up in traffic a little bit. So I'm Trevor with La Luna Barbecue. A lot like these guys, I've been involved with KCBS competitions for a really long time. I'm a CBJ as well for KCBS. Done a little bit of the steak SCA stuff, but I'm kind of La Luna Barbecue. I'm also on Smoke Ain't No Joke Barbecue with Anthony as well. So love competing, love everything barbecue, and just kind of do social media and all that kind of stuff. So it's good stuff. And I will taste now.
Yeah, Dustin, tell us a little bit about the Southern Char signature blend here.
So the signature blend, I guess it's obviously called the signature blend. If you notice on there, my signature is on there, but to back up a little bit, I never intended to do any bottle of seasoning at all. But when I did the first one, I thought that was going to be the only one I did. Never intended to do anything else. But that being said, when I did that, I tried to do one that would basically, it's basically be an all-purpose, essentially. Go on any type of beef, whether it's hamburgers, steaks, brisket, and then also be able to go on pork chops and fajitas. So it's not what I would call a barbecue rub. People do layer it but it doesn't have that kind of cinnamon or brown sugar flavor of a true barbecue rub. But it is incorporated sometimes as a layer on that. But you know, it's a what I call an all-purpose seasoning. It's got, you know, it's got salt, garlic, pepper, and then there's some obviously paprika, some butter flavoring. There's some beef. So there's a lot going on in this one because I tried to do that for the reasons that I said before, to be, you know, to kind of cover all the protein.
Yeah. Sweet. And then, all right. And then what about the garlic butter blend?
The garlic butter blend was definitely not planned. It was something, you know, what I ran into, people are like, you know, especially more when I came to the retail side, like some of the grocery stores and things like that. You know, when I present the signature blend, it's something I wasn't expecting, but they're like, is this the only one you have? And I'm like, well, yeah, it is, you know. But so that being said, I kept hearing that. So I was like, well, you know, I have played around with the salt, pepper, garlic, you know, with the butter blend flavor before, as far as the flavor profile, but I wasn't as far along in the process as a recipe. So that's something that I started a couple months after I came out with a signature blend this year. And it's an SPG is what it is, salt, pepper, garlic, but it's got the butter blend, the butter flavor on the background. There's and one thing I did different on the garlic butter blend, I did the flake salt. That's one thing that I did on the garlic butter blend. I was giving out samples. I leaned on feedback a lot on this one because like the signature blend was more of mine per se. I wanted this one to be, you know, more, I guess, to complement other blends. If people use their own rubs, I want it to be able to go as a base layer. I wanted this one to be able to go on a lot more things than the signature blend. So it's got higher quality, you know, it's got high quality ingredients. The flake salt costs, you know, obviously costs more than the table salt, but I didn't want cost to be an issue with this one. So whatever it took, I want it to be about the final end result of the taste.
Nice. Okay. So I'm going to go first here. There's going to be no offense to anything I say because I love all these flavors. The signature series is a very season-all flavor. You know, it's kind of the nostalgia flavor of the seasonal salt that my mom had. You could literally add it to everything. I really enjoy that flavor. It has everything you're looking for. There's a reason why all my listeners, I've had this for a while. He sent me a bottle out about a year ago, and there's a reason why this bottle lives in my camping trailer, because I can put it on everything. And then when you cook with it, the color it lays down is amazing. So that's what I got to say about that. This is just a perfect all around. Like you said, it's not a barbecue seasoning. It's an everything seasoning. And then as for the garlic butter blend, popcorn is the very first thing that pops up to my brain. It tastes just like popcorn. We're going to the movies. I'm going to get a big bucket of popcorn with, you know, extra butter, the whole thing with that peppery kick. I just love it. I get that flavor, and it's a perfect, well-balanced flavor for, you know, pork and pork chops and seafood. I love it. But then when you blend them together, I feel like you said, Dustin, it all comes together. I do get the individual flavors. I do get the butter. I get actually a citrus bite and then also a back end heat bite when you put them all together. So it's very interesting how much the flavors get more complex when you put them together. So I got to say, you just need to create the mixed bottle of both these together, because it's amazing when they're together. But they both have their, like I said, the signature blend is probably one of my favorites. It's a good all around seasoning. That is a reason why it's going to live next to my stovetop. It's going to live in my camper, and it's going to be used almost as a daily.
Yeah. You know, the flake salt, if I'm out, look, I cook competition as well. One of the things that people do is, you know, if it's turned into a finishing dust or a layer, you know, if you don't have time for that flake salt to really absorb into the protein, you can run it, you know, you can use a mortar a coffee grinder, thumb grinder, or anything like that. And just kind of break that up a little more fine, for appearance purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing so, not to keep it creates like another flavor when you start opening up all those seasonings in there. So it's really, and those flavors keep coming. It's like
they really do.
Some people get salt on the front end of the signature blend, and it's there. But then you try it the second and third time, you start tasting the onion, the paprika, the beef base in there, and I think and then it's like Johnny Joseph has always said, it's and then it's another flavor profile once it's on the protein. So,
who would like to go next?
I'll jump in. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Anthony on the signature blend. It's really good all around. One of the things I did like about this was it's a little bit finer grind than a lot of what you see in a lot of the rubs, which kind of lends to the all-purpose. I did love the little smoky hit that's on this, as well as I kind of get that out of the garlic butter too. Both of them are phenomenal. I'm kind of a garlic butter junkie when it comes to different rubs. I've tried quite a few, and I use most of them. Like I'll use them daily when I'm cooking as one of the layers. But I do have to say I did get that buttered popcorn hit. Like that was the first thing that just smacked me right out of the tasting, and it was fantastic. It's so full of flavor, and then the rest of it, like the onion and things, it starts coming together, and you get that little pepper hit and the smokiness. It all comes through. Fantastic, both of them on their own. But when you do put them together, like you say, man, it's like they really bring each other's flavors out, and those profiles bloom when you put them together. And it's an awesome combination. And I gotta give it to you, hands down, man. These are great. Good job.
Thank you.
I'll follow up with that. The signature blend, I'm one of those guys, Dustin, that was salt forward, and it's like, wow. But immediately my mind went to smash burgers. I mean, I think this would be phenomenal on a smash burger. And the fine grind on it as a finishing dust for SCA, I think would be, really useful. So to me, it's, steak, smash burgers, and I really enjoyed it. It was more flavorful, like you said, the second or third little taste that you got a little deeper into it. And then this is the first time we've done two of them in a row, so it was kind of tough. So I'm the guy at the when you go to the movie theater that gets popcorn, and I need a bath when I get done, because I'm not gonna lie, this is in my cabinet, and I used half a bottle of it, a bag of popcorn. I'm just all oiled up like crazy. I love the butter flavor. This product was shipped to my son's house because I don't have a shipping address where we're staying right now, and he snuck a taste on it, and he's like, Dad, you're gonna love the garlic butter. And so I was really looking forward to it. And so when I tasted it, it was the first thing too, like everybody else, wow, popcorn, this is gonna be amazing. And so I'm looking forward to that. Definitely not Derek, not ice cream, popcorn. Ice cream, right? So but and then I actually forgot to blend them together until you started talking about it. So I did that, and that was complex, man. That was cool. It just kind of was an eye opening to, all right, we can use these together on something, because when I do my steaks, I sear them and I just douse them in butter anyway. So, I really, really like the butter flavor to it. So I'm thinking I could probably save some money on butter and, just use this as a finishing dust on my steaks now. But great job with it. I didn't know what to expect at all. I'm kind of jealous that Anthony's already had the chance to play with these already, but I'm looking forward to getting in and cooking with them. So thank you.
Yeah.
John, it's interesting that you say that, because Look, here's the deal. I don't have like an official team or anything like that, but there's some people that do, and some of the people that are using it, they have cut back or don't use butter at all if they're using that garlic butter blend as their finishing dust.
I could see that for sure.
Me too.
Michael, Rob, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Trevor, nice hat, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
go Mammoth. Yeah, just to jump in, yeah, definitely on the signature blend. I think it actually, again, you're saying not necessarily traditionally like a barbecue rub. I think it like does have enough sweetness that it really can be pulled off that way. I think like I like to do my ribs like when I'm doing them for myself and not competition, to where they they are a little bit just more kind of like savory and overall just super good. And I think this would be a really awesome one for ribs, just because you can bring out a lot of that pork flavor. There's still some of that sweetness in there to really just make it hit. And so I think that's definitely an awesome one for ribs. But I think it's an amazing seasoning. I think the flavor is awesome. I was actually thinking popcorn on this one right when I first had it. And to echo what John said, like the very first thing that popped into my head was burgers. And so I think throwing this on a cheeseburger, smash burger, whatever type of burger, it really brings out that flavor, that beefy flavor and everything like that. So just awesome. Really, really did it for me. Just has a super, super high quality flavor too, which I like. Going to the garlic butter, again, amazing, super high quality. I love the salt, the flake salt. You take a bite of that and it just pops in your mouth and you get a big explosion of flavor. The first thing I actually do, like one of the things, my kids love it. I love it, but I cook a ton of fried rice. And I think for fried rice, this might replace like any other seasoning I put on the fried rice at all. Right now, I kind of just like salt and I grab some garlic and maybe some pepper. So it kind of has all that stuff, but I haven't had like one of the kind of garlic, butter ones that I've liked as much for doing that, because the garlic flavor in this is a lot stronger than you get in most of like the SP, the spa grubs or whatever, because it is a really fresh kind of strong dehydrated garlic flavor. So for me, that was awesome. And then I was the same as Anthony. The second that I combined the two together, I was like, holy crap, is there citrus in there? And I had to go back to the first one and kind of see that there's some citrus and some vinegar in there, because it really brings out some of those deeper flavors when you put the two of them together. So definitely love them both. Super, super high quality. And these will definitely be ones that I use, maybe daily.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'll finish it off. Yeah, this with the grind, I think this would be really popular in the SEA. I may even give it a whirl. The flavors between the both of them are just fabulous. I was going to say on your signature blend, maybe a dry brine on some chuck roast before you make a chili. That would enhance the flavor with the vinegars and stuff coming out. And then the butter flavored, I'll probably use this Thanksgiving for some bacon wrapped asparagus on the grill, just to enhance that flavors.
We definitely use vegetables also.
Yeah,
but the two together.
Honestly, I think it'd be a great one just to cover the whole bird with. Honestly,
yeah.
Personally, yeah.
I've been working on a video with that actually.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a little under the skin would be just intense to bring that flavor out of that turkey, to add that buttery, citrusy flavor when you mix them together. Yep. And then it has that heat that just kicks in, and it kind of hangs around for a minute, which was kind of shocking.
Yeah.
Great job.
It's not an offensive heat either, which is nice.
No, it's just nice, mellow heat that just lets you know that it's there, but not burning down the judges like some fat guy with a beard does every now and then.
Yeah, Dustin, good job, man. First of all, shout out that you're from Clinton, Mississippi, because I used to live in Pearl and Riverside, so
okay. I didn't know that.
Not too far from you. I'm impressed. Like, we get a lot of rubs, and beyond what we taste on the show, I've just tasted a lot of rubs. And sometimes we get a rub and we're like, okay, we'll taste another rub. And these impressed me. These A couple things I like. I like the grind a lot. They feel really heavy in the bottle, like you're getting your money's worth. You get a lot of rub in this bottle. The grind is very beautiful, like it's going to spread evenly. Starting with your Southern blend here, I mean your signature blend, it's all purpose all around. I want to put it on a baked potato. I want to put it on a lot of things, and it's going to melt because of the grind level. It's just going to melt evenly for either competition or just like your regular cooking. There's an herb in it that I can't quite identify, and I didn't read all the ingredients. My glasses aren't strong enough.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that one falls under spices.
Okay, I like it. There you go. It covers it. But there's something herbaceous about it, but it builds, it layers. Like it starts where you get that SPG flavor, but then it builds. It gets a little bit of heat. It gets a little bit of spice. It gets a little bit of butteriness. Even though this isn't your buttery blend, it hits all that layer. So, the fact that it's your signature blend is great because it works on everything. And with that, mahogany color, it's going to give you great color on ribs and all that stuff. And then the butter blend, I'm glad you had us test it the way you had us test it, because the butter blend is fantastic. The garlic, I mean, every vegetable, every baked potato, everything could definitely use this. But when you do combine them, it really is a whole new level. Whether you're doing SCA cooking or just like we talked about with your Thanksgiving turkey or whatever, I'm super impressed. And I'm excited to hear from Mississippi. This is the time that I lived there, but like I said, I've tasted a lot of rubs, and these are definitely ones that should not be underestimated at all. So good job.
Thank you. I'm glad Anthony didn't think that I was trying to sidetrack his process there. It was just for my two particular rubs. That's kind of how people to do that.
Yeah. No, you gotta trust the chef, man. The chef knows. Like, the process. You got it.
Yeah. Rob?
I'm gonna just touch on what everyone says, but kind of what Christy said too is like there's certain rubs that I've had that I'm like, all right, this rub is different. This one is like, all right, this one I'm gonna use. And actually, I actually messaged Dustin. I think it was a couple of days ago when actually Anthony, you sent the bottle through the messenger, and I didn't know that this one was the sample, so I actually opened it up and I did a couple steak practices with it this past week, because I talked to Dustin. I think it was actually back after a competition I did where I was cooking with a little kid who was a little less fortunate, and so that's why I thought that these were for that. Oh, thank you. And but like I said, I had these on the steak. The color was great. The taste was absolutely super good. The only thing is kind of like you said with the garlic butter. I use that as a base layer, and when I use it out of the bottle, I did get some of those big coarse pieces of salt. So the only thing I did is I ran that through a shaker, and it was still, even with the big salt pieces, if I would maybe do that on like a brisket or something where I'd want like bigger pieces of salt. But like I said, for the steak as that base, I just ran it through a little shaker. And honestly, all I did was this and this as a taste. And I used a little bit of this inside the butter when I was doing my finisher. And I even told my wife, I was like, dude, this combo right here is a top 10 walker all day. And another thing I like too is just a good mouthfeel. It gives you it gives you a lot of punch of flavor, but it's just a good mouthfeel. And I can't say enough about it. It's a good rub. And like I said, this is few of the ones that hit that are just lights out.
I agree with you, Rob, but the color that this lays down, none of you guys cooked with it yet, but the color it lays down is crazy cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to chime in real quick. I when I was saying not really barbecue, or I shouldn't say that. I forget, and I should know this from this process of doing these rubs. It can work on anything for anybody, because everybody has different taste buds and different flavor profiles. And there is, a flavor profile for a dry, savory rib. So there are people that do that. And being from the South, they get too caught up in Memphis style barbecue. So
that's totally fair, Dustin. I totally get it.
All right, am I last man standing again?
Yeah. Did you get your ice cream?
No, not for this one. And you guys were right. especially when I get to the buttery garlic or the garlic butter. Man, that was really good. But yeah, for your signature blend, like right off the bat, looking at it, how fine it is, and also the color. Yeah, got really excited just appearance wise. I'm like, that's gonna give a nice deep mahogany color on whatever protein, especially those lighter proteins, pork, chicken, whatever it may be. Getting right into it, definitely was like, oh, this is an amplifier. 100%. Like I was thinking of it just going to be a basic rub. Sorry, I don't know why I thought it would be. I don't know how I start off, but I feel like I start with a baseline. But I'm like, oh no, right off the bat, the sodium content. So I was like, oh, definitely for beef. Made me automatically think like I'm not a fan of filet mignons. They're tender, but they're not always the most flavorful. This would amplify that and step it up. So I would recommend that 100%. But also like right off the bat, I was like amplifying eggs. Eggs are usually very flavorful. This is one of those things that you can add to eggs 100%. So no, this one got me geared up and excited. I'm like, all right, now I want to try the garlic one. So yeah, as you suggested, try the garlic one, and with both of them, the butteriness, the savoriness, super rich, super savory, very exciting stuff. Two different things. So at that point, I was really excited to put them together and see what we can come up with. But what Trevor had mentioned, and that was me trying to think, I was like, I can't put this on ice cream. They definitely can. That's too much. But when Trevor said fried rice, he beat me to the punch because that was going to be my thing. I was like, dude, my kids love garlic fried rice. And my mom, they all say Lola's is better than yours. Yours never tastes as good as grandma's. Yours never tastes good as Lola's. I was like, this is my secret weapon. This is going to be it. So don't tell my kids. I'm probably going to run this and do garlic fried rice for breakfast one of these days for the kids. And I'm going to be like, all right, now I'll compare it to Lola's, compare it to my mom's. But if you were to blend these, just out of curiosity, if you were to make a blend combining the two, would they be equal parts or would you be like a 70-30?
Great question. That's what I was going to ask that too. Yeah. What would the ratio be on that?
So there are more people out there right now. They're obviously using other finishers with this one, but there are more people out there than I'll mention. I'll say using it just 50-50 equal parts. And there are some that love other brands also. There are plenty of other great brands out there. But if they do that, sometimes if they're not doing it, 50-50, which can be a finisher by itself, they'll do, if it's 4, obviously 25. But depending on where you are, if I didn't do 50-50, if I changed anything, I may do 75 signature blend, 25 garlic butter, just because of where I am, just to cut back. Like if that butter is too much, or if it's too much for a particular profile, if you're already using butter, I would say either 50-50 or 75-25. But I wouldn't cut back on the signature blend. It's just too much savory for that I need for my particular flavor profile.
Oh, 100%.
Well,
that makes
Hunter Brown says 60-40.
64. Oh, Hunter's on here.
See, look at that.
60-40.
Hunter has done really well in KCBS, BCA. He had a top 5 call in their RCA this weekend up at Mark's. He's been a really good one using some of their seasonings for sure.
Nice.
Well, he's tried it out. He's put it in there. Honestly, I'm
trying to think of what he had. Oh, he cooked jambalaya this past weekend. He said that was all that he used was the garlic butter blend.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah, I can definitely see these. They're separate on their own, are great for everyday cooking, from the backyard guy to mom making dinner at the night, just right next to the stove, right next to the smoker. But putting it together, I think that's where it elevates to competition level. I can see those doing fantastic. Right with you, Rob. This could be an SEA top 10 for sure. If you long as you cook your steak right.
Right. No, so thank you for kind of piggybacking on that, and also kind of getting some clarification, because like with them chiming in 60-40 or a 75-25, I did a 50-50, and that was legitimately a bomb of flavor in my mouth that I was not prepared for. So it was definitely higher on the sodium side. So it's just kind of like when you get in your car, you didn't realize you're jamming out, so the music was so loud in your car, and then you get in at 5 a.m. and it's just blasting at you, scares you. That's what happened with my taste buds. I was like, whoa, I think I blended that way wrong. I did a 50-50 blend, and that was a lot of flavor. I could see a 75-25. I could see a 60-40. That makes more sense. But both of these, like I said, with the steaks and garlic rice and everything else. But I think more than anything, I'm excited to try them on veggies and also on a tri-tip, individually and combined. I think they'd be phenomenal on a tri-tip. So
Of course,
nice
the
work.
California guy says tri-tip. Of course, the California
yeah.
guy says tri-tip.
Do you guys have tri-tip in Mississippi?
We have tri-tip.
He's like, we throw it in the grind. We turn it into ground beef.
I am going to point something out. This is totally off topic here. Hang on, let me see. I'm going to pull this up, guys. I just want you to all notice. Let's see. We're going to go to his website. At the banner, look at that. ThermoWorks time RFX,
strategic.
3 of them in there.
There you go.
Grill grates
with a grill grates, yeah, and a grill grate spatula.
I love it.
Can't do it without a time stack. But you know what, Justin? I mean, everybody's touched on it. Like competition worthy for sure, but day of the week worthy. Like, look. On vegetables, on eggs. I think somebody mentioned like this garlic butter. Yeah, and this I'll say this.
Grilled shrimp.
Yeah,
garlic butter on grilled shrimp.
We have tried
Lowry's because I think we all probably use Lowry's, but like this is this can replace that. It's got a little more heat than Lowry's, and
we just did some tilapia over the weekend, and it's like that garlic butter would have been just perfect on those fillets.
Yeah, we have some yellowtail in the freezer that this is definitely going to go on. So, well, cool. Dustin, let's let everybody know where they can purchase your product and also where they can follow you if they have questions about your product as well.
Yep. So like I always tell everybody, if I always try to push them to the retailer near them first. If they don't have a retailer near them, we do have a website. It's southernCharSeasonings.com. Both of them are on there now. Depending on when we have it here, so I can control that process and get it out as fast as I can. If you don't see a shipping option that is good for you, we can work something out. And if you need something soon for a competition, I'll do whatever I can to get it to you as soon as I can.
Awesome. That's great. And my final thought on this is you have to have both. You have to buy both bottles. There's no option of buying a single bottle. You have to buy both to be able to experience this fully.
Yeah. So, hey Dustin, what's your competition story? What's your I know you touched on it a little bit, but what's your background as far as that goes?
Yeah, I didn't elaborate much on that. In 2019, I think this is a very interesting story. I'm glad you asked that. One of the first competitions I ever cooked was probably one of the hottest competitions I ever cooked. And I spent the day next to this guy, cooking out of the back of the vehicle back when SCA was, just you pull up, you grab your tin, and you still can. But anyway, this guy and his brother were there all day, and, it was just me by myself. It was, I didn't know anything hardly. And they kind of helped me do some things, gave me some input in the most, nicest way possible. But it wasn't until he won the competition and they were leaving, I was telling him, thank you, congratulations. His brother, he was like, hey, by the way, he's like, follow me on Facebook, but follow my brother for sure. And I was like, okay. So I get on there, and I get on Instagram actually, and I go to follow it. I was like, Tim Van Doren. I was like, it says Bama Grill Master. It's like 500,000 followers. I had no idea that. One of the most humble people ever. But that was my first SCA competition. He and I still talk, and great guy. But
he is amazing, yeah.
SCA was what I really got into. And obviously, y'all know it just as well as I do. When COVID hit, everything else was closed down. So that was one of the things we could still do outside was cook SCA. But I won my first golden ticket to go to Fort Worth at one of Ronald Burns' competitions up at Grilling on the Greens. That was the first one, and that was, I enjoyed it already, but when I won, I was hooked, and we've been to Fort Worth a few times. I didn't cook it all last year. We've traveled quite a bit. As a matter of fact, when I met Anthony, those guys were so great. Several of us flew out there. I had no grill. I had basically a container packed with my seasonings and some of the essentials, and Fidel and Brennan and some of those guys gave us a tent, a grill, and we cooked at the what was it called, Anthony? What's the name of the one in
Was
Vegas?
it?
The one in
Was
Vegas.
That was Christie's SEA.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was that was one of the most welcoming events you could go to, not knowing what to expect or having all your stuff. So I've mainly stuck to SCA. As a matter of fact, the first I cooked a BCA this weekend, and I haven't made a post on that yet, but y'all were talking about that 50-50 blend. I was trying to keep some of that to myself, but
There we go. There we go.
Woo, show it. Don't be ashamed.
No, that was
very nice.
That was really fun. Those guys, I guess it's BCA is kind of a branch off of, is it IBCA? Is that what it is? I'm not really sure. I forget, but it's a really good group of guys. They do mainly barbecue, but they had a steak ancillary last Friday night. That was really fun though. And they're, as far as the SCA, there's, and even the seasoning, side of the world. So these guys are so great. It's not really even competition. These guys are all friends. There's another guy, a grilling company here. They have their own seasonings. They carry ours too. Grills Mississippi. Casey Tyler, he's in the top 10, top 5 of ancillaries with SCA. He's got the Smoking the Bandits. We use his seasoning a lot. So it's just been really cool meeting these people that I feel like I never would have met before any other way.
Awesome. Great story. Well, Dustin, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for sending this out. I'm just going to say it. We're not going to pick our favorite. We probably all come to agreement that the blend is where it's at.
Most definitely.
Go with the blend.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And then thank every single one of you guys for joining me every month, being able to do this. And we'll see if we can get one more before the end of the 2025 season.
Yep. Thank you, Justin.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Thank you, Justin. We appreciate you.
We appreciate
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.